Hello, my name is Ivan and welcome to the channel. My idea is to document the full process of producing a rock song, starting from the songwriting step, going through recording, arranging, mixing, mastering, all the way until the song is up in the digital platforms. In our last video, we were talking about songwriting and I showed you guys how I started the whole process from a voice memo, and then I started developing the song until it became a scratch song, and we already have the first verse, the chorus of the song, a pre-chorus as well, and the section that connects the chorus and the second verse. In this video, we are going to continue talking about my songwriting process and what is my approach to create an intro. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, also hit the notifications button, and don't forget to hit the like button. Okay, so just doing a quick recap from our last video. We started from a voice memo in which I had recorded the idea of a chorus. From that idea, I started playing with my guitar, trying to figure out the chords and the music that would work for that chorus. Once I had it, I continued playing, just experimenting and digging with my guitar until I found a melody that I liked as well for the verse. So I started writing phrases that would go to that verse and adjusting those phrases to the melody until I was able to figure out the verse. So we had the verse. While I was doing that, I was also able to figure out a pre-chorus with lyrics. Then we have the first chorus, and we also have a section that connects the first chorus with the second verse. So let's take a look and see what we achieved in our last video.
Te busqué sin rumbo, sin dirección, sin saber dónde ir, me entregué al placer, sin control y sin satisfacción. Pero tú me dejaste a la verdad absoluta, me llevaste la vida real, la vida que siempre busqué, la vida que siempre anhelé tener, la vida que siempre busqué. Es Jesús, solo Él es el Rey del amor.
Okay, so we have a pretty good portion of the song ready. Also by myself, I continued working with the song. I continued playing with the chords, playing the verse, and trying to figure out what would work for the second verse. I also wrote phrases and ideas until I was able to figure out a lyric that would match the melody of the second verse. So up to this point, we have the first verse, the first chorus, and the second verse. So in order to finish the song, I still need to figure out an intro for the song. I need to figure out a bridge for the song and the outro. For the outro or the ending section of the song, I have just thought of doing a couple of choruses, maybe changing probably the chords or having a different lyric. Usually what I do is I use a more conclusive lyric for the ending of the song. I could also think about a riff that would also fit at the end of the song, but that's something that I will figure out as we continue in this process. So for now, let's move on and start with what we're going to do in this video, which is the intro. So let's move on with the intro. The approach that I have, that I use, what I would do is to think about different intro ideas and try to imagine how they would fit and how they would go along with the rest of the song. That is a process that I usually do in my head. I try to imagine it, but in this case, I'm going to show you guys some examples of intros. Now, what types of intros could we do? So for rock music, there are several styles of intros that you can find, and the ideas that come to my mind are usually based on the influences that I have, intro styles that I've heard. So let's take a look at different styles of intros and see how they would fit the song. The first style of intro that I'm going to try is pretty basic, pretty standard intro, and it is just to use the same music and the same chords that we have for the verse and do a couple of rounds with just the music, maybe some arrangements, and then the vocals come in on the first verse. So let's take a look and see how that would work for our song. For this demonstration, I'm just going to use a pair of drumsticks, and I'm going to imitate a percussion with this couch and this little notebook here, so that you guys will see that we don't need much when we are making up ideas for our songwriting. So let's go.
Te busqué sin rumbo, sin dirección, sin saber dónde ir, me entregué.
That's something that could work for our song, but there are other styles of intros that I can think of. For example, there are a bunch of rock songs that start with a drum beat, pa, dum, dum, pa, dum, ta. Maybe some chords, some open chords, and then the vocals enter in the first verse. That's an idea. So let's take a look and see if that would work and how that would fit with our song.
Te busqué sin rumbo, sin dirección, sin saber dónde ir, me entregué al placer, sin control y sin satisfacción.
There are some other intro ideas, intro styles. There are a lot of songs where there is no intro. The first verse just starts right in. That is style, that is an idea that we could also think as well. And I can also think about a different style of intro, which I like, is what I call the explosive intro, and is just to start with chords, bam, bam, maybe vocals, something like that. So I wanted to explore a similar idea. So let's see how that would fit with our song.
Sin dirección, sin saber dónde ir, me entregué al placer.
Okay, there are other styles of intros. So for example, intros that start with synthesizers or sound effects and crescendos, and then the music starts. So as you see, we can think of a lot of ideas, and just as you hear music, you start getting this arsenal of ideas, and then when you're writing your own music, you can figure out which style of intro would work best for your song. For this particular case, I had a voice memo of an intro that I liked, an intro that I imagined, and I thought it would be good and it would fit with our song. So I'm going to show you an example, guys. It is not very clear at this point, but that's what it is going to be. That's what I ended up deciding to do. Let's see how it sounds like. I finally decided to stick with this last intro, and if you noticed, the section that I wrote and that we documented in our previous video that connects the chorus with the first verse, that small musical part is also what I'm using for the intro. So the intro idea that I had in my voice memo is being connected to the verse using that same musical section. So this is something interesting that I wanted to share with you guys. And as you see, there are many alternatives, many things that we can do. I decided to stick with that. And so far, that's going to be the idea. Maybe in the future, I may decide to change it. The workflow that I follow is flexible. But so far, that's the song that we have. We have about probably more than 50% of our song ready. We have the intro, we have the first verse, we have a pre-chorus, we have the chorus, we have a connection between the chorus and the second verse. We have now lyrics for the second verse, and I added a couple of rounds for the chorus. Now, in our next episode, we're going to work and we are going to write what is going to be the bridge of the song. So, thank you for staying on this channel. If you haven't, please don't forget to subscribe, and also please don't forget to hit the like button, and see you on the next episode.